It is Friday, August 2nd, and today I'm just wondering about one of the greatest athletic feats ever in the history of the world, whose anniversary is tomorrow.
Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the perfect temperature, and ensure your home is secure, all from the palm of your hand. Star Power has the experts that will transform your house into a secure, smart home. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Get started at GetStarPower.com. Star Power, where innovation meets home.
In 1993, Bob opened the original Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon Avenue. 32 years later, the original Bob still greets you at the original Bob's. And now his sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch has opened in McKinney. Same fantastic beef and fresh seafood at these two Bob's, each run by the Bob's Steak and Chop House.
And now a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
88 years ago tomorrow, a story began unfolding that captured attention around the world. For some, his achievements were thrilling. For others, they were crushing. 88 years ago tomorrow, Jesse Owens launched what would be a triumphant, incredible 7 days at the Berlin Olympics. To call Jesse Owens' early days humble beginnings would be to terribly undersell his story. This legendary athlete was the 10th of 10 children born to an Alabama sharecropper and his wife. And, by the way, his name wasn't even Jesse. It was James Cleveland Owens, and the family called him J.C., the initials of his first two names. But when he went to school and the teacher asked what his name was, he said J.C., but she misheard him and wrote it down as Jesse. And Jesse stuck, and he'd be Jesse for the rest of his life. Now, early on, he began his love with running. In high school, he equaled the world record in the 100-yard dash. But even that didn't earn him an athletic scholarship, and he went to Ohio State. But remember now, this was the 30s in America, and he lived off campus with other African-American athletes. And when Ohio State's team would travel, he and others would stay in a blacks-only hotel, and they would eat at a blacks-only restaurant. He worked various part-time jobs to pay his way through college while blossoming into an incredible athlete. He captured this country's attention on May 25th, 1935, at the Big Ten Track and Field Championships. On that day, he broke the world record while running a 100-yard dash. And then he came right back and broke the world record in the long jump. Next, another world record in the 220-yard dash. And he finished the day off by taking the 220-yard low hurdles, you guessed it, in a world record. 4 events, 4 victories, 4 new world records. And he did all these events in 45 minutes. But a larger glory awaited Jesse Owens. It was the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, run by Nazi Germany. The sentiment in the United States was not to go, to not promote this racist regime. But eventually, the boycott thoughts fizzled, and Owens sailed from New York City with his teammates to Germany. 88 years ago tomorrow, Owens' astounding Berlin story began to unfold. He won the gold in the 100-meter dash 80 years ago tomorrow. The next day, he added the gold in the long jump. The day after that, more gold in the 200-meter sprint. And to complete the week, a 4th gold as part of the United States 4x100 relay. 4 Olympic golds, a track feat not equaled for another 48 years until Carl Lewis did it at the Los Angeles Olympics. Early in the Olympics, Owens' spectacular performance certainly caught the attention of Hitler. But a few days earlier, Hitler would go down and shake the hands only of German victors in the medal ceremonies. The IOC then insisted, that's the International Olympic Committee, that Hitler either shake the hands of all of the winners or none of the winners. So he opted for none of the winners. Owens had crushed Hitler's Aryan superiority theory. Nazi minister Albert Speer wrote of Hitler that, quote, he was highly annoyed by the series of triumphs by the marvelous colored American runner Jesse Owens. People whose antecedents came from the jungle and were primitive, Hitler said with a shrug. Their physiques were stronger than those of civilized whites, and hence they should be excluded from future games. But Owens himself said that Hitler did not snub him, that after the games, the German leader actually sent him an inscribed photograph from the games. And according to Owens, it was the U.S. president who actually snubbed him. FDR, quoting Jesse Owens, the president didn't even send me a telegram. Back in the United States, there was a huge ticker tape parade in New York City honoring Owens and the rest of the American medal winners. And it was followed by a big party and reception at the ritzy Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Manhattan. But again, these were the 30s in America. And the triumphant Owens and his wife were not permitted to go through the front doors of the hotel, and instead had to take the freight elevator up to the celebration. I wish Owens' phenomenal story had a happy ending, but it does not. Once home, this legendary American athlete had trouble finding work. He toiled as a gas station attendant, a playground janitor, and the manager of a dry cleaning business. Years later, he filed for bankruptcy. And in 1966, he was prosecuted for tax evasion. Owens had hit rock bottom, but the United States finally saw value in using him as a kind of international ambassador and sent him on several goodwill tours. Companies like Quaker Oats, Sears and Roebuck, Johnson & Johnson used him as a product endorsement spokesperson. But oddly, not very long after those Olympics and all those triumphant moments, Jesse Owens took up cigarette smoking. And that would lead to an extremely aggressive form of lung cancer that led to his death at 66 years old. But Owens' enormous legacy started to unfold 88 years ago tomorrow in Berlin, in front of more than 85,000 spectators, including Adolf Hitler.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle, by Star Power, Love Where You Live, and by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoy our episodes, please hit follow, and a fresh new podcast will be delivered to you every weekday. And should you know a friend or friends who might like our work, please share it with them. Also, we'd love your questions and comments. We do a question and answer session every 2 to 3 weeks on the podcast. Send us your thoughts on X, that used to be Twitter, to @Norm's Clubhouse. That's @Norm's Clubhouse. Just Wondering's executive producer and sometime on-air contributor is my wife, Mary Dans. Just Wondering's produced by Mike Mattern and technically directed by Tim Ham of FanScreen Sports. I'm Norm Hitchkus, and every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm